These are the rather inauspicious premises of the privately owned Dallas-based company, Colossal Biosciences. Here's a snap of their staff, full Steve Jobs black power dresses, which was also the rage with another high-tech guru, Elizabeth Holmes. Her high-tech blood sampling business was a scam. This is not. Colossal Biosciences are in the business of resurrecting once extinct species. There's a lot to work with, 99% of all species having gone onto the Darwinian scrap heap. In the hands of one of the staff are 2 of the 3 dire wolf pups birthed last month. Dire wolves last roamed North America about 12,000 years ago. In a world's first, dire wolves have literally come back from the dead. Okay, not 100% dire wolves. Existing grey wolves with dire wolves genes. Not too sure what Plan B is in terms of what you do with a new dominant canine species with the potential to decimate the existing wolf population, tear your average domesticated dog limb from limb, which would be quite justifiable in the case of those silly little yappers that masquerade as proper dogs. Dire wolves are only but the start for these Texans when it comes to hybrids. You may have spotted the skeletal remains of a mammoth lurking in the backdrop, using Asian elephants as the surrogates. And whilst I've got this photo up, let's answer the question you're likely most to be asking. Who is funding this undertaking? Chiefly this bloke, a 43-year-old AI tech billionaire, Ben Lamb, worth about 40 bill, so they won't be running out of dosh anytime soon. I'll also be touching on another investor from far closer to home later on. Anyway, let's get back to the abridged A-list of the creatures they are targeting for resurrection. The Thylacine and Tasmanian tiger. The last known one of those is pacing his cage. Benjamin died in captivity in 1936. His species was officially declared extinct in the 80s. In terms of material to work with, the team at Colossal Biosciences has oodles of thylacine junk. Moreover, they have the support of Australians in its resurrection. The University of Melbourne being front and centre in this process. It's almost certain within a decade this creature will be pacing their cage again. A bird synonymous with the term dead, buried, a large offshoot of the species of pigeons. I kid you not, the flightless dodo plotted Mauritius in the Indian Ocean till the mid-1600s. If you like sex, don't get too close. At 3 foot, and with a powerful curved beak, they'd have your old fella for breakfast. The Mauritian Wildlife Foundation are actively pursuing the bird's comeback. They are in direct partnership with Colossal. Cross your legs, or keep your distance. Part of the Smilodon genus, the smallest saber-toothed tigers weighed in at a not inconsiderable 50 kilograms. The largest ones, knocking around the southern hemisphere, I might add, they were the size of a bull, of 500 kilograms. 10,000 years ago, they were prolific around the globe, though thought to have gone bye-bye due to being outcompeted for prey by irksome humans. These not-so-cuddly cats are on the to-do list. My 7-kilogram deleterious house cat is ample warming enough. This won't work out well. Now to the star of the show, the Moa. Which variety of Moa I couldn't actually ascertain. Most of them went biggies, with the ones we first think about, and the ones that get all the attention, the ooers. The majority would scuttle about the forest floor. Of importance to this comeback is some high-level local backing. Peter Jackson is on board with a few bucks on this one. This in itself, that's to say Peter Jackson's involvement in bringing back the Moa, is the first of 2 major ironies I'm about to highlight, considering It was him that almost single-handedly introduced the endemic hobbit infestation into New Zealand. Get a bite from one of these dirty creatures and it's septicemia, City, Arizona. People from outside the country are often mortified when they learn that hobbits are on the open season designated pests. Any Kiwi with a gun licence can exterminate them on sight, cash in their decapitated heads for a bounty. A dozen beer last time I plonked 3 on the table. You can go top shelf if you bring in the entire family. Therefore, one would have thought, given the catastrophic effects hobbits have had on the New Zealand environment, German tourists shitting in wilderness car parks, he would have learnt his lessons. Leave well enough alone. Still, a big global hitter he may be. Sir Peter won't be getting to have a say if the Moa gets a second crack. In an even grander irony that stands before us, the very group of humans that wiped the Moa out, Maori, aided by local pig-troughing academics, they aren't keen on them making a comeback at all. Let's hear from Nick Rawlins, a professor at University of Otago. De-extinction of a taonga species could well yet become another negative colonialism experience. Boo-hoo! Fear sucketh the sav. For starters, we're not actually talking about a 100% Moa, rather a hybrid product between the genes of an extinct creature inserted into a close living relative like an emu to create an Emoa that insists on playing the Bauhaus and Nick Cave 24/7. Then of course there's the awkward little issue about what happened last time Maori had domination of the forests and the creatures within them. New Zealand was 80% native forest before humans arrived from Hawaii sometime around 1300. By the time Europeans even laid eyes on these lands, that was down to 30%. At this very moment, any viewer with a left hemisphere is right in thinking asking Maori to have a say on resurrecting Moa is akin to asking the Catholic Church to write the nation's child protection laws. Who, for God's sake, could have an issue of a colony of look-alike Moas wandering in an enclosed area? Get punters cruising their enclosure, Jurassic Park style, peering through the bars. Live Moas would do wonders for the country's tourism. Drag them in like those filthy, flea and TB-ridden hobbits. I would have thought the whole country would be a cock-a-hoop at the prospect of getting a look at a live Moa, not just eating them. Moa being the Maori word for poultry, as in chickens. Sadly not. I'm not, of course, talking Maori on the street, and they'd be just as enthusiastic as you and me. I'm talking the elite, tribal leaders. They know that the Treaty of Waitangi trumps any hand. The danger, or should I say the likely outcome of this impasse, which these intellectuals and elites haven't grasped, not having a real job will do that to you, is that by looking through the business eyes of Colossal Biosciences, this is more than simply a lack of initial interest from New Zealand towards housing re-extinct Moas in their homeland. No one is suggesting they are going to be released into the wilds of Fiordland. Rather, they are faced with outright animosity. Thus, this one goes into the too hard basket. They simply turn their attention to other species where the locals are more accommodating. Clearly, they're not short of alternatives. What I displayed being just a range of the high-profile global samples. You can add to it the Haast eagle, another former native of New Zealand, another killed off by Maori, and rats introduced by said humans, who are again not too keen to see it spreading its wings again. Sentiments probably shared by a fair few sheep farmers. Then there's a distinct possibility a rich rancher from Montana, outbids Peter Jackson. Emoas do make a comeback just outside New Zealand. Most likely, though, Project Moa, unlike, say, Project Thylacine or Project Dodo, like the birds themselves, will never get off the ground. This is more than a little disappointing. I think that all New Zealanders should get to see them in some form or another. Maori had a fair go 4 centuries ago. Moas, small, medium and big, would be a massive tourist drawcard. Maybe the Maori corporations are holding out for naming rights, wanting a commission on every entry fee, clip the so-called ticket on the jeep ride around Neogenic Park. Who knows? Seems like a major lost opportunity for the whole country. Let us all know what you think in the comments. And by the way, this isn't the first video I've done on the moa. It's the third. Those links will pop up shortly. There's firstly the one about the alleged spotting of a live one in Arthur's Pass in 1993. In the second, a podcast version, notable alleged sightings along with hoaxes, of which there are a few. Oh God, where did this annoying little yapper come from? Don't do it, Paul. Don't do it.